Hi, Sean.
I talked to you yesterday.
Good. You are fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes.
A great host. Show is great. Listen to his show.
Absolutely, 95.5.
One mic.
Shelley Winter Show, live, local, topical, and relevant. I tell you, some of the best conversations that I have at this radio station is when Eric Von Hessler is going off the air, and we talk in the studio. We are literally talking all the way up to the start of the show. Okay. Don't forget, 7:48 tonight, we've got Rant On. Rant On is where you have 10 seconds to say anything that you want to say. Just keep it clean. I'm sure my Democrat listeners have a lot to say. So 10 seconds at 7:48. You can start calling in at 7:30, 7:45, whenever you want to. 448-720-750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Let's get started. You know what I'm talking about, the video. Let me be very clear, so there's no mistaking my thoughts on this. This video was disgusting and racist. Disgusting and racist. All right, anybody that tried to say that it wasn't racist, then I got to question your intelligence. Seriously. Not your political opinion, not your ideology. I've got to question your intelligence, straight up. The video was racist. It was an unforced mistake that did not need to happen. Let me tell you something. I come on the radio every single night. I voted for Trump in 16, 20, and 24. And I've had to explain things. No, it wasn't like that. I've had to explain, hey, Trump didn't want black people in his apartment buildings in the 70s. And I've had to explain to people, no, the people who lived in the apartment building, largely white and liberal and doctors and lawyers, many of them Jewish, did not want black people in their apartment building. He was just going with the people who already lived there and who were paying rent what they wanted. I've had to explain this, and I've had to explain other things to my Democrat friends who, since 2015, when he came down the Golden Staircase and made the announcement he's running for president, he's a racist. He's a racist. He's a racist. It's things like this. There's no reason. There's no explaining this away. It was stupid, and I can't believe that there are people working in the White House who thought this was an okay thing to do. And it was racist. It clearly was racist. Now I hear the answers. Oh, Shelley, you didn't see the full video. Well, I didn't see the full video because he didn't post the full video. So clearly I wasn't supposed to see the full video. Well, in the full video, it doesn't matter what the full video looks like because he didn't post the full video. I'm going on with the president of the United States, the leader of the free world, arguably the most powerful man in the universe. The known universe posted this video. So that's what we're talking about. Not the complete. You didn't see the complete video. No, I didn't see it because he didn't post it. Then you have Carolyn Levitt come out there and say, it doesn't matter. It's about the Lion King. Why don't you guys talk about something more important? No, Carolyn. Then it takes Senator Tim Scott. God bless you, Senator Scott. God bless you. Who comes out and says the most racist thing I've ever seen come out of this White House. And now the conversations start. I'm being told on background by many of my African-American friends at work up at the White House, they were outraged. When I say outraged, some of them almost ready to walk out. That's one of the reasons why this video was pulled down. And I'm not going to name any names, but this is what I'm hearing. They were outraged because it was racist. And it's stupid. And then, do you not apologize? That's fine. You don't have to apologize. You're known not to apologize. You don't apologize. You don't apologize to the very people who helped you get you there. You don't apologize to the very people who in swing states all across this nation who you insulted. You don't apologize to the 25% of black men that you insulted. Oh, but Shelley, they're not all mad. Yeah, I understand they're not all mad. But if they're making money, they don't really care. Yeah, I understand that, but it's still racist. And if your argument is that 25% are not mad, then how do you grow to 30 and 40%? Oh, I get that's a good idea. That we're not trying to do that. We're just trying to stay at the 25% black male, and we want the 98% to stay with black women. And we just want to stay there. We don't want to grow the party. We're just going to keep it there. No, it's racist. It's okay to say it's racist. And then it's okay to say, hey, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done it. But it's not okay. What's not okay, my friends, is to come back and insult me a second time by telling me, oh, it was a staffer. Really? So since 2016 on Twitter, on X, and Truth Social, you mean to tell me you haven't been sending out these tweets? You haven't had Twitter storms at 2 o'clock in the morning, thus making it seem like you're still working hard? This hasn't been you? Because you never told me before that you don't do your Twitter. You don't do your Truth Social. I've never heard that before. Have you? I'm on radio. I do show prep every single day from 6 in the morning till I come on air at 7 o'clock. And I've never once heard anybody tell me that somebody else is in charge of Trump's social media. Not one time. I've always been told it's a sign of how hard he works. But now it was a staffer. But all that being said, it was racist. But it buries the first 60 seconds of the video, which is talking about stolen election and machines being manipulated. And before anybody on the Democrat side comes in and tells me, but Shelley, that's been knocked down. Those are conspiracy theories. Cynthia McKinney said the same thing about the machines in 2000. HBO agreed with her and made not one, not two, but 3 documentaries on how the machines can be hacked. All on HBO. This was 2000. Yes, in all fairness, Republicans back then said Cynthia McKinney's a conspiracy theorist. Okay. So clearly there's a problem with the machines. Stacey Abrams said in 2018, there's a problem with the machines. It's sickening. It's getting really sickening. It really is. And Democrats, let me say this to you, since I'm being just completely transparent and honest to everybody. You guys been calling Donald Trump racist since 2015. Now all of a sudden you're outraged. This is the thing? Come on. You've already believed he's Hitler. You believed he's homophobic. You believe he's racist. You believe he hates Jewish, black people, Hispanics, the black and brown coalition. You believe that. You believe that since 2015. You've been yelling at me about it since 2015. And now all of a sudden we're supposed to be, oh my God, I'm clutching my pearls. It was racist. We understand. It was bad. We understand. It was disgusting. We understand. It was. It was. And what makes me even more madder is the excuses that you came up with after the fact. Makes me madder. You know what makes me even more madder than that is the fact that we just got the leader of the Benghazi attack on our embassy. They just captured the guy. That's buried at the bottom of the news. That's a good get right there. Buried at the bottom of the news because of this stupidity. It's stupid. Another unforced error. Another reason for people to go ham. Another reason for people on the edges, the moderates, particularly the African-American moderates that came across in the swing states all across the country in 2024 to vote for you. All of that. Don't need to do this again. And it impacts us all. But here's who I'm really upset about. On Monday, for Black History Month, the governor is going to be reading a proclamation to the Georgia Black Republican Council, of which I'm a member. I'll be emceeing our dinner coming up on February. I'll get the date for you. I think it's February, the last Saturday in February. Tomorrow's the 7th, 14th, 21st, 26th, I think. It's the February 26th, I think. If I have the wrong day, it's a Saturday in February. I'll be promoting it next week. But the point is, there's a Georgia Black Republican Council. It's a large group of us in the state of Georgia. We're all supposed to meet at the Capitol at 9:30 on Monday morning. We're going to have big proclamation read, and then we're going to take pictures. And I'm sure a lot of the statewide elected candidates are going to come by and say, hey, can I take a picture with you guys? Hey, Shelley. Hey, Camilla. Hey, Lisa Kinnemore. All the names. They're going to, hey, guys, how you doing? Before I show up on Monday at 9:30, this is just me speaking. I'm not speaking for the organization. But I'm going to say this very loudly and very clearly. Before I show up to the Capitol at 9:30 on Monday morning, I better see every statewide candidate for office say something about what happened today. Even if it's just, we don't need this in our country right now. Something. Because if the White House has admitted it was a staffer and was wrong and took it down, then you now are allowed to say something. If you celebrated the start of Black History Month, you must say something now. And I'm speaking to every single last one of you who are running for statewide office on a Republican ticket or are in the state house now in Georgia who claim to be Trump supporters. If you're unafraid to push back on something that you yourself know was racist, and you're unafraid to say this was wrong, it shouldn't have happened, we can't do politics like this. If you're afraid to do that, then I don't know what you're going to do if I give you the next level in politics. Who else are you going to be afraid of? You're going to be afraid of the donor that gave you who maxed out? You're going to be afraid to tell him no? You're going to be afraid of a large group of voters who may want something done that the rest of us don't. You're going to say no to them. If you're afraid to say what's right at the right time, even with the admission by the White House saying that it was wrong and they pulled it down and blamed a staffer, which means they know it was wrong because they blamed somebody else. If you yourself cannot go on X right now before I get off the air at 9 o'clock and say this was wrong, it should not happen, as a Georgia Republican candidate for statewide, state rep, state house, Congress, senator, governor, I don't care what it is, I don't want you on my team. And I'm not going to be on your team. I'm saying that unequivocally, without a shadow of a doubt. Because if you're afraid of Trump, you need to be afraid of me because I vote here. And you need to be afraid of every single Black Republican council member that's coming down to the Capitol on Monday morning at 9:30 to take a picture. You need to say something before 9 o'clock on X. Because if you can't, not that you don't want to, but if none of you, Lieutenant Governor, Attorney General, Governor, Senator, whatever it is, if you can't say anything to Trump, then why should you be able to say what you want to me? Or to anybody else in the state of Georgia. Look, the Democrats are doing what Democrats do. It's what they do. They're outraged. I get it. It's politics. But when you hand your opponent something that makes you look bad to the point where you admit it makes you look bad, then we've got a problem. You're not a rookie. This is not 2017, first day on the job. 2026, this is 10 years later. You still doing dumb, you know what, on social media? And then you're doubling down by blaming somebody else after defending it? This is where we are now? These are the people running the country? These are the people making big decisions? Of whether to go to war, whether to pass tariffs, whether to raise taxes, whether to put one big beautiful bill where you overspend and never cut the deficits. These are the people that I'm supposed to stand up and say, ha, 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 great job, guys. Really? This, a rookie mistake, a stupid mistake, an unnecessary mistake? Look, man, I'm going to tell y'all like this. This was stupid, it was disgusting, and it was racist. And anybody that doesn't believe it was stupid, disgusting, and racist, then I really question your intelligence. I really do. And anybody that tries to defend it, right? I didn't defend it. I said it was stupid, disgusting, and racist. What I want people to pay attention to is the first 60 seconds that talks about stolen elections with bad machines, which Democrats have called out for years, since 2000. That's what I want people to focus on. But it was stupid, disgusting, and racist. And everybody should say that. You shouldn't be afraid to. You should literally not be afraid to go on X, Facebook, text, wherever it is, and say, I reject the video put out by President Trump on Truth Social. And if you're afraid of losing voters, then I don't really need you in a leadership position. I say that to every single person out there. Every single one. And don't tell me about the Democrats. I don't care about the Democrats because I don't vote for Democrats. I care about my team that I vote for. I care about them being having integrity, having dignity. I care about my team being honest. I care about my team standing up for the right thing when it's the right time to do it. And if you can't do that, then what good are you to me? I'm the voter. What good are you to me? 404-872-0750. 1-800-WSB-TALK. And that message is for everyone. Whether you're running for office, whether you're standing on the sidelines, Whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, or social, if you're a Republican and you can't go on your social media or your friends and say, wow, that was bad, that was racist, it shouldn't have happened. If you can't do that, then what good are you to me? 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. We'll be right back.